Hey YouTube, welcome back to Griffin Grills. Today is going to be a different type of video. We're not actually cooking anything today. I just wanted to go over the Weber grill that I use, along with some of the tools of the trade and also some tips and tricks that I picked up along the way. So let's go ahead and get started with the actual grill. It is a Weber 22-inch Performer. It has the chassis with the wheels on the bottom, along with the preparation table that everything's loaded on right now. That does come in handy when you're preparing food and you need a little space to set stuff. We also have 3 hooks on the side for hanging your utensils. And while we're down there, we'll just go over the utensils. It was a 3-pack of spatulas, tongs, and a barbecue fork that I picked up all together. Off to the side of that, you'll notice there's a timer built into this flap that opens up. And underneath there is the controls for your propane ignition system. It does take a camper's bottle of propane for the charcoal ignition system inside the grill, and we'll go over that in a second. Here's also some tools that I use on some of my cooks. Of course, a coal shovel to shovel the coals around if you're going to bank them up on the side for an indirect cook. Along with the shovel, we also have a grill grate brush, also a Weber product. The coal shovel was also just for cleaning the grates, scraping off debris from your last cook. And then of course we have the slow and sear, which you've seen in some of my videos. This actually makes it very easy to use your Weber grill as a smoker. It has phenomenal results, and I've showed you how to set those up. There's also videos all over YouTube. Just look for Slow and Sear by Adrenaline Barbecue Company. Everybody has a video on this product. It is a great product in my opinion. Next to that, we also have the charcoal baskets that came with the Weber. I use these from time to time if I'm going to be doing like a vortex style cook. Since I don't have a vortex, what I'll do is I'll just set them in a circle inside the center of the grill, light my charcoal up hot, dump it in the baskets, use the shovel to level them out, make them even, and then place my food on a ring around the grill grates around the fire so that it comes up with the heat, hits the dome lid, rolls over, and does the same thing like a vortex would. Of course, we also have our charcoal chimney, great for getting the coals lit up. And when you use it with the ignition system inside of the grill, it makes it real easy. You just have to burn the gas for about 5 minutes, shut the gas off, and let the charcoal rise up in there while it's catching fire. We also have our barbecue gloves. Use these all the time, especially when you don't want to handle anything hot. You notice on my last video, the smothered pork chops, we used a cast iron skillet to do the mushrooms, and these come in, pardon the pun, very handy for handling the cast iron. And of course, while we're on the subject of that, we have the cast iron skillet. It's just a 10-inch cast iron skillet. It works great. It gives you good flavor. If you've never tried cast iron, give it a try. You won't believe the difference that it makes. And of course, we got the Weber 5-rack rib rack. You can actually load 5 racks of ribs on this rack and place them in the center of the grates and cook like that. This does great when you need to cook a lot of ribs and you don't have a lot of space. I use it all the time on my 22 because we're usually doing 3 racks of ribs every time we do them. And then of course, on the side here, I forgot to show you, we have the ThermoPro temperature probes. It has 2 probes, one for inside the barbecue. You just clip that to the grate and it measures the temperature inside the barbecue while you're cooking, so you know how hot your grill is on the inside. And it also has a meat probe that just goes into the meat, and then it'll give you a readout of that. It does have a control unit that you can actually keep with you. And of course, it shows the food temperature on the top, the barbecue on the bottom, so you can just at a glance look and see what's going on with your pit. It's not on at the remote unit right now, so that's why it's not showing anything. And then just to make sure you're getting all your temperatures correct, it's a good idea to have a probe that you can actually probe in and get an instant read on. I use the Weber one just because I like Weber. And it also helps to probe for tenderness. If you're doing something like a Boston butt or a brisket, you can use the probe and probe to see how tender it is. On the side, opposite of the grill, a lot of people use this as a charcoal bin, but since I already had one, I use it as a trash can. Just slip a bag in there and it makes cleanup a little easier when you're outside. You can just dump your trash in there and just change it out when you're ready. On the back side of the grill, we have a little notch here that you can actually hang your grate from when you're storing it or when you need to set it to the side for a second. The lid on top does have a thermometer on it, so it gives you a readout. The only problem I have with that is when I'm smoking, I have the vents over here. So my fire is usually over here, and that's right up underneath this. So I found, just through my many experiences smoking, that this will actually read about 50 degrees hotter than the other side. So you could just look at this and automatically know I got to subtract 50. So if you're running 300 on your gauge, then more than likely your pit temperature is only at 250. I'm not a big fan of that. Weber does it that way for some reason. So that's just the way it is. But I'm personally not a big fan of that. We have the cradle here to actually catch the lid. So when you open up your grill, you got a cradle to hold that lid open. This also does act as a wind block to block the wind from getting to your pit. And of course on the bottom it has the utilities rack to house all the stuff when you're not using it. I put everything back down here from when we did the video. You also have a set of wheels on the bottom. There's caster wheels up by the trash can side, and there's these big round wheels over the grill side. Makes it a little easier to move things around. I have my Kingsford charcoal caddy. It holds about a 15-pound bag and a half of Kingsford charcoal. Just pop the lid open, dump it in there, and you're good to go. And of course, this is not an actual Weber. It's my Weber ice chest from my first video on YouTube. You can go back and check that out if you want to get a look at it. But yeah, these are just some of the everyday items that I use when I grill. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please stick around and subscribe, because we will be doing a salmon video in the near future. There's already one up on my channel, but when I did that video, I didn't quite have everything for the recipe that I normally use, and there was some stuff I forgot. So now we're going to go back and do a full wrap salmon part 2. So make sure you subscribe so you get a notification when that video comes up. We also might be doing some kind of giveaway for that video, so be sure you subscribe and check that video out when it drops. I'm hoping that'll be in the next couple of days. But I hope you enjoyed this behind the scenes look at how we do our cooks around here. Drop me a comment in the comments box, like, subscribe, you know, tell everybody I'm trying to build the base up, so any little bit you can do would help. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.